Unfortunately, not enough time to get to know you properly yet. Inshallah, we hope that we can get to know each other over the 2 days for the sake of Allah. One thing you should know, that today you are the most fortunate people on the face of this earth at this moment in time. Because you have dedicated your time to study the kalam of Allah, Allah's communication to mankind. So we should be very, very grateful to Allah for this first and foremost. So we say, Ashukru lillah, alhamdulillah. Objective of this very introductory course is that we link ourselves with Qur'an. Our minds and our hearts, they link to Qur'an. We ask Allah, we fall in love with Qur'an in the next 2 days, inshallah. And then the journey, we are all on the journey anyway, but then we revitalize ourselves, and then we go to the next step and next level of our journey of our relationship with Al-Qur'an Al-Kareem. So we have a diagram on the board that summarizes the whole Qur'an. If we had time, we would interact more, because the learning actually happens through interaction. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Masood Khan. We live in London, and I'm a school teacher by profession. So I teach computer science. Before it was known as IT, ICT, in a secondary school. I have been teaching, alhamdulillah, for the last 15 to 16 years, computer science, ICT, etc. And at the same time, we have been developing, alhamdulillah, dawah courses and Quranic development courses, side by side, to be able to help each other as a human race to connect with Allah. So this diagram on the board that you can see, I will give you maybe some opportunity, although I prefer you to make more interaction with me. I will label it for you. This is the first group of surahs, second group of surahs, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Grouping of surahs is essentially an educational tool to make it easier to break down the subject matter of the Qur'an, so that we as students of Qur'an find it easier to grasp the main themes. This is the whole objective behind grouping surahs, yeah? So would anybody like to suggest what this number one, this graphic representation, what is it trying to tell us? Very quickly, any ideas from the sisters or the brothers' side? And the one thing you need to remember, you don't speak like this. Many people, they speak like this and I can't understand what they're saying. So it doesn't work, yeah? So if you want to interact, then take the hand back and speak. Tawheed. There is something on Tawheed here, but that's not number one. Anyone else?
A road, a journey.
Good, a road, a journey. There is an Arabic term for this. It is a way. Anybody know the Arabic word for that? Main road. Sirat, good. Another one.
Mustaqim.
So Sirat Mustaqim, yeah. Another word. Starts with S and H. S-H. Shh. I can't hear you. I don't. Sharih, yes, Sharih. This is Sharia. Sharia. You know Sharia, everybody is scared of Sharia, eh? Because we didn't understand Sharia. If we understood Sharia, we would be climbing the highest peak in this arena or this area and shouting what Sharia is, if we understood what Sharia is. Yes. Anyway, first group of surahs tells us what is our Sharia, what is our path. Second group of surahs, what do you think this is telling us? Very quickly. Follow, good. How to follow this? The methodology of following this Sharia. As shown to us by who? Who? Yes? Sorry, I'm not looking at you because I'm not going to look there, but I can see from my peripheral vision that you put your hand up. Yes? We are following who? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the methodology or the method of following the Sharia. What is this symbol here? Sisters, what is this symbol? Any young sisters here? Would you be happy to have this? Yes, why? What is it? It's a medal, good, gold medal. Success. Success. If you want to achieve something, you need to remain motivated, isn't it? Motivation. These are the first 3 surahs, groups that we're going to cover today, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. The next 3, they are regarding our belief. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. So what do you think these 3 are now?
The first one is the message.
First one is a message, excellent, mashallah, a message. A message. I don't usually write shorthand, but because of the space. Because people have lost the art of spelling now. They write message, and when I mark their work, they write the letter U instead of writing Y-O-U. Yeah? So we have to write the full words anyway. This is the message. What is the Arabic term for the message? Yes, anybody? MashaAllah. Risala. What's your name? What's her name? I can't hear it. I didn't hear it. Maryam, MashaAllah, has told us Risala. We need to have some chocolates or sweets to give out now, yeah? We forgot about that, sorry. So we have to write against Maryam's name 1 chocolate. Risala. This is our pivot of our Iman, believing in the Risala of the messengers and that of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Brother was looking at this. What do you think this is? They were discussing it earlier.
Identity.
Unique identity, uniqueness. So we have talked, this is about Iman, yeah? One is Iman in Risala. The other is Iman in what before that even?
Type of creation, kind of creation.
Not exactly. It's more about who did all that. Unique. Tawheed. Laysa kamithlihi shay. Nothing like Allah. And this, I think, is a giveaway. What is this about? Adl, justice. So Iman in what? So we believe in Allah, we believe in the messengers, and what? Day of Judgment, excellent. Akhirah, hereafter. Yes, Akhirah, hereafter. We're happy with that. I'm going to repeat this many times today, because we don't have time for detailed analysis today. We are just giving you a framework of the overview. So this is the precursor, if you like. So the first group gives us the Sharia, the path that we have to tread upon, we have to walk, the way to live. We live it by looking at the second group, the methodology, how the Prophet ﷺ lived it. And then we try to remain on the path by being motivated in the third group of surahs. Do sisters need more chairs? They need more chairs, yes or no? Yes? How many sisters? How many chairs do you need? 10 sisters. So you want 10 brothers to sacrifice for the sister their chair. It's very simple. And Allah will give you the reward of you being here and the sister being here. Twice the reward. I would give it, but then you can't see me. Very good. MashaAllah. Good. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for your offer. Good. Okay. Alhamdulillah. We're comfortable? Everybody's sitting comfortably? Good. Okay. So the first group is, as I said, the Sharia tells us the path to live. The second is the methodology of living this Sharia, the life of the Prophet ﷺ. And then the third is how to be motivated, remain motivated despite all challenges and obstacles. Then the last three groups of surahs, they give us a detailed breakdown of our Iman. You should know the definition of Iman. I would interact if I had time, but unfortunately I can't. But I give you one chance. Anybody who can give me precise definition of Iman? Anybody?
To believe in Allah as though you see Him, you don't see Him.
That is ihsan, but that's correct in a way. Iman is to believe in the heart, to then testify with the tongue, and to act with your being, your limbs. This is Iman. So Iman, three aspects. Risala, the bringer of Iman is the Rasul. Iman in what? First and foremost, Tawheed, Allah's oneness and our relationship with Him. And Iman that there is hereafter, Akhirah. These last three groups of surahs, they tell us very clearly, this is the detail about your Iman, which you could not grasp without Allah's guidance. And then it teaches us how to invite to this Iman, da'wah. And then it tells us as believers who say we believe in Allah, Risala, Akhirah, it addresses me and you to tell us Allah expects this from you if you believe in Allah, this from you if you believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is expected of you if you believe in the Akhirah. Is it clear? Is there any question about what's on the screen at the moment before we move on? So I want you to spend about 1 minute and explain whatever you have understood to the person next to you from this whole screen. 1 minute. And your time starts now. To tell people you need to speak. The sisters have already, mashallah, started. Very good. You have half a minute. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jazakumullah khair. So inshallah you are now fully equipped to tell anybody the summary of Qur'an in 1 minute. Summary. In order of the Qur'an. Of course it needs practice. It needs detailed study over our whole life, inshallah. Okay, we move on to the, you should have a sheet that is like this in your, on your desks. You should have this. Yes. If you don't have one, ask for one. The brothers or sisters will give one. If you don't have, let me know. I think we have some spares over here. So is there anybody who does not have this? Just put your hand up or signal and we will arrange it. So the brothers have it? Sisters, anybody in need? Okay, they all have it? Okay, good. We will be using this over the next 2 days, or 2 sessions really. We just summarize some points. So we have understood hopefully this overview that I've given to you of the Sharia, the path that we have to tread upon to live in this earth, and then the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ, and then the motivational factor. So these 3 we are going to focus on today. Yeah. Underneath you can see here that we have highlighted for you the surahs that are making up this group. So Surah Al-Fatiha to Al-Ma'idah gives you the first group of surahs. Then Al-An'am and At-Tawbah up to At-Tawbah, the second, and then the third is Yunus to Surah An-Nur. Yes? So let's spend a bit of time. I need somebody to help me with timing now. What time is it right now? Because I can't see the clock from here. So if one person just becomes my timer.
10 to 3.
10 to 3? So 10 to 3, I need 30 to, okay. 3:20, you have to tell me before 3:20, I have 5 minutes maybe, yeah? 3:15 you stop me. Okay. So you have given me your job, very good. That's a very good way of delegating the tasks. Eh? That's right, somebody else should do it, you're right. Brother is busy. It's interesting, I was saying to somebody yesterday, I said you should find this and this thing in this area so we can do this. And the person gave me the task back by saying, oh, you can find it there. No, I didn't tell you to give me the task, I gave you the task to do. Huh? So we have to take responsibility of things, yeah? Opportunities. Jazakallah khair for you. You did your best, alhamdulillah. Sharia. Sharia is the most effective, efficient, progressive way of life. If anybody asks you what is Sharia, you don't hide. You say Sharia is the most effective, efficient, progressive, productive way of life for the human race. The most, not maybe, no. The most productive, the best, the most efficient way of life for the human race. Without it, we will never prosper as much as we potentially can. Never. Because it is from the one who created us. This is a Sharia. Aspects of Sharia have been beautifully outlined in the first 5 surahs. Starting with Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha is a dua. It is an interaction between the slave Abd and the one who is being worshipped, the Ma'bud. As Allah Ta'ala's Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us in the Hadith Qudsi, Allah Ta'ala says, I have divided the salah between me and my servant. Qasamtu salata bayni wa bayna abdi. In Surah Al-Fatiha, we must know the meaning of Al-Fatiha, yeah? Everyone must know meaning of Al-Fatiha. Absolutely necessary. More necessary than breathing the oxygen to know Al-Fatiha. Don't sleep without learning it today. Al-Fatiha is telling me and you what is the most important thing in life is to seek Allah's guidance. This is the most precious, most important thing in every human's life. Guidance. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us all to the straight, correct, upright, easiest path. It means without Allah's guidance, we cannot be guided. It's as simple as that. You may have a dawah conversation or interaction because you are Halifax dawah. So your whole bloodline should be dawah, that's it. This is why you are established here, mashallah. And you may come across people who say, yes, I believe in God, but I live the way I like, it doesn't matter, God doesn't mind. No, this is from shaitan. We all, human race, needs guidance at every step of our life. That's why we ask for it 5 times. Anyway, in response to this dua that we make, oh Allah, guide all of us, all of us. Us includes every person on the face of the earth. Every person. We should not be selfish about guidance. Yes, we should be the most sharing when it comes to guidance. So Allah Ta'ala, He responds to this in this first group of surahs by giving us this Sharia as a framework. And you will see the links inshallah, bi'idhnillah. Allah Ta'ala tells us, the basis of your Sharia, this way of life, is first of all, Iman. Iman. Iman is, if you like, what is the reality of this existence? Yeah? What is the reality? Where did this all come from? Who made this? How did it come about? Then why is it here? What's the point? Then why am I here? And if I'm here, why am I here? Where am I going? These are the questions that every human being has got inside every human being. Allah put this in every human being. Fitra. You heard this word fitra? You know, in Ramadan we love fitra because we do iftar every day. We love the iftar. Alhamdulillah. It's a blessing from Allah, iftar. But don't eat too much, that's all. Fitrat Allahi allati fatara an-nasa alayha la tabdila li khalqillah. Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Rum, if I'm not mistaken. Allah, He has created every human being with a inbuilt mechanism. You must understand this concept of fitrah. Inbuilt mechanism. I'll switch to another page to understand. Fitrah. Fitrah is the inbuilt instinctive natural inclination and instincts that guide us initially and generally. Every human being has it. We roughly know there is a creator, roughly there is something, something. We roughly know wrong from right. We know there are things that are wrong. We know there are some things that are right. Fitrah. Prophet ﷺ said, every newborn is born on fitrah. And then it is the environment that changes it into Jew, Christian, or any other religion. So fitrah is with every human being. This is the first level of guidance that Allah gave every single human being. So Allah Ta'ala says your iman is that you have been created by Allah. So first aspect of iman is iman in Allah as the creator of everything. He then is providing everything for your being, your life. He's Rabb. Rabb. Rabb is the one who gives you everything that you need. Your parents, they are like your Rabb. They give you everything when you cannot open your eyes. They open your eyes when you were just newborn. And your mother, she gave you the milk. And she is always looking after you, washing you, cleaning you. She's Rabb, linguistically. Father is doing the shopping for you, working, and he is bringing the snacks for you, the cereal that you eat in the morning, and the chocolate and whatever you eat. They are your Rabbs. Allah has put His Rabubiyyah, His love to take care of you and bring you up, to make you prosper. He has put this instinct in the parents, parenthood, instinct. This is His Rabubiyyah. So Iman is Allah's Creator and His Rabb. And our fitrah says we must thank whoever gives good to us. Fitrah. Somebody gives you something, you say thank you. Naturally, your instinct, isn't it? If somebody doesn't thank you, you think, what's wrong with this person? There's something abnormal. So Allah Ta'ala, He says to the human being, He says, I am your creator, sustainer, and I have given you everything. Jazakallah khair, mashallah. Maryam, you have started a good sunnah here, huh? Chapter sunnah. And therefore you should be grateful to the one who has given you everything. Is it making sense so far? A person who does not show gratitude, he is ungrateful. The person who shows gratitude, he is shakir, we say shakir, grateful. The opposite of shakir is kafir in the Arabic language. The one who covers gratitude, the instinct of gratitude. So how do we show Allah gratitude? If you give me a chocolate, I can show you gratitude by giving you a chocolate back. So I will feel at least I have said thank you, yeah? But how can we thank the one who has given all this and He's continually giving this to us? How? We feel that we can't. So therefore Allah Ta'ala in His mercy, He gave us this Sharia. How to channel your instincts of gratitude in the most perfect way and in the most productive way for you as a human, for you as a couple. In fact, you should know, couple is just between the husband and wife. Shaitan, he's mixing all this up now. Shaitan is saying that you can have all types of couples. This is from Shaitan. There is husband, there is wife. Ar-rijalu qawwamuna ala nisa. We will study it maybe in Surah Nisa. And how to be a productive family, how to be a productive community, how to be a productive society, how to be a productive nation, how to be a productive global community. This is Sharia. And how this global community can be productive in the whole universe. This is Sharia. The basis is Iman. Once we have Iman in Allah, Iman in the messengers who brought us the Sharia to guide our instincts and to tell us that wrong should lead to wrong, right should lead to right. If you do good, you should get good. If you do bad, you should get bad. This is in us, isn't it? Nature. Justice, we say justice. Therefore, there is hereafter. Yawmul Qiyamah, Yawmul Deen, when everybody will get what they should. Iman. Is it clear? Iman is clear. This is very brief. I have to make everything brief. Upon this Iman, we see Islam in this first group of surahs. Now, what to do every day to live this belief? Islam is the 5 pillars, essentially. Believing in Allah and His Messenger, praying 5 times, and fasting in Ramadan, then paying the zakat if you are able, and to go to Hajj if you are able to. These are the manifestations of your belief in the reality around you. Yes? Link. Your belief links to your actions. These are called the pillars. You know this building? When I came here, brother was telling me in 2000, what was it? When was it? Brother was telling me. 2012 I came here first time. MashaAllah. And then I came today after that. And now the pillars are all up and it's a very nice building. Imagine they only built pillars, they didn't put a roof. How would you feel? Incomplete, yeah? So the Sharia tells us the pillars are there for a reason, because without pillars you have no building, but you don't stop with the pillars. You have to have a vision. So this first group of surahs tells us our vision in life. This is the biggest problem we have. We don't have vision, unfortunately. This is our biggest downfall. We don't have vision. Because we did not read Qur'an with meaning. my brothers, my sisters, you have to, yourself and your children, the most important thing. Most important thing for my child, for your child, is to learn Qur'an with meaning. Most important. It is more important than anything else. Believe it. Most important, priority number one. We are very, very concerned about their bodily, physical requirements. Food, drink, keep fit. And mashallah, they have the bags here, the kickboxing, everything. This is very good. But we neglect the soul. We neglect the ruh as a community in the world at this moment, the ummah. First priority is my child must know Qur'an with meaning. First priority. Whole Qur'an, not just some surahs. We became so lazy as an ummah, we made whole Qur'an into 5 surahs. Panj surah, you know Panj surah? People happy to just read 5 surahs all their life, that's it. As if the other 109 surahs doesn't matter. Don't make that mistake. We can't afford to make that mistake anymore. Every ayah of Qur'an is essential. Vision in this surahs is given in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 142 to 143. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Who can translate? Anybody who can translate and doesn't translate, then you are not doing the right thing right now. You have to translate. If you know the translation, tell us now. You are hiding knowledge otherwise. Don't be shy. Who can translate? Sisters, anybody? I know you are shy, that's all. Alhamdulillah, may Allah give you haya. Haya is the biggest thing you can ask for Allah. Biggest thing, haya. Great, I was so happy they said the sisters, they feel shy. I said, Alhamdulillah. This is the biggest blessing, that our sisters are shy. May Allah Ta'ala always give them this haya, and us brothers as well. The translation of this ayah, pivotal ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah is, we have established you, O followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You believe in Iman, in his Risala of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Your job is now to tell the whole of humanity about this message of Qur'an. Because Allah will ask you on the Day of Judgment, just as He will ask Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the messengers, did you convey the message? The term for this is shahada ala nas. Make a note of this. Shahada ala nas. Shahada ala nas. Shahada ala nas means that we bear witness on the Day of Judgment when we stand in front of Allah. And everybody will stand in front of Allah alone. Fardan farda. And Allah will ask, did you, O people of this area, did you convey the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which was given in Qur'an? It was preserved in the Qur'an, and its explanation, bayan, had been preserved in the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the understanding of this was preserved in the lives of the Sahaba. Did you convey this message to Bob, to John, to Peter, to Raju, to Vijay? Did you do it, or what did you do? Were you happy with your takeaway? And you said, don't worry, let them believe what they want. They're going to hell anyway, leave them alone. Allah will ask every human being that believed in this message, did you do your best to convey this message? And Allah will ask the messengers, did you convey my message to the rest of humanity? So Musa alayhi salam would be asked, did you convey my message to Bani Israel? And the same Isa alayhi salam would be asked. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be asked, did you convey the message to the people of your time in your area? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say, of course, Allah, you are a witness that I did it. This is the vision of the Muslim Ummah. This is the vision that brings us together. Unity. We talk about unity, but we don't have a vision. Without a vision, there's no unity. They're just speeches. It doesn't bring the hearts together. فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ, Allah says. in Surah Al-Anfal. To bring the hearts together, Allah Ta'ala gave us a vision that we have to convey this message to the rest of mankind. In order to carry out this task, then the first group of surahs tells us you need to do two things. One is infaq. Infaq. Who can tell us what infaq means? Anything? You will help me if you speak, because I need a rest as well. Infaq is to use all your resources at your disposal. Everything you have, time, money, energy, ability, qualities, skill, everything at your disposal, everything you have. Use it until there is nothing left to use. Run your petrol out until there's no petrol left in the car. This is infaq. Exhaust all your potential abilities and energies. For what? Who can tell us? What for? I don't know the name, otherwise I would address you with the name. I know Brother Zahid, but I'm not going to say Zahid. I said Zahid, but yani. Beautiful. But what does it mean? Infaq fi sabilillah, what does it mean?
Nafaqa. Nafaqa means...
Tell us.
can't speak English.
आप उर्दू में बता दें.
अल्लाह के रास्ते में जो देना है, जो है.
किस लिए देना है? क्यों देना है?
मिस्कीन को.
क्यों देना है? क्यों? Why?
अल्लाह के.
हाँ, अल्लाह के लिए. We say for Allah. What does it mean? You have to think why we say what we say. You're right.
This imtihan means Allah make him poor and Allah make you rich.
Yeah.
So Allah means test you.
Yes, so to test us, yeah. But link it to the vision. You have to link it to the vision. To fulfill this role of conveying the message, you can't just sit at home. In fact, today you can sit at home and do this as well. Everything is on social media now, isn't it? You can be doing infaq fi sabilillah sitting on your phone. This phone, may Allah protect us from this, what is it? This phone can be the biggest means of reward, and it can be the biggest destroyer of society. May Allah protect us from its misuse. Don't become slave of the phone. Don't be slave to the phone. Use the phone to convey the message. Don't become addicted to the phone. If you are addicted to the phone, you should think how many hours I spend on the phone a day. If it is for good, then that's okay. If it's not for good, if it's just for entertainment, spend the same amount of time reading Quraan. Is it clear? Especially the young brothers, sisters. Even the old, we are all in this same together. The phone is a tool to use. Don't be used by the phone. Don't be addicted to it. So infaq is to spend all your energies, resources, so that you have conveyed this message as much as you can. And when you do this, who is the biggest hurdle? Who will try to stop you first and foremost? Whose job is it to stop you? Shaitan, Iblis. Iblis, Shaitan. What do you have to do with Shaitan then? You are all, mashallah, kickboxing champions here. What do you do to the opponent? Muqabala, yeah. So what does it mean? What do you do? Any sister do kickboxing here?
Yeah.
Yes, sisters, what do you do to the opponent? You have to knock the opponent out, isn't it? Otherwise the opponent is going to knock you out. It's simple, isn't it? You have to do jihad with Shaitan. This is the fourth thing in this group of surahs. Iman, Islam, vision, purpose. Infaq for that purpose, jihad for that purpose. Shaitan is not going to sit and watch you and say, well done. He will say, how do I stop you? his job that he gave himself, self-appointed, self-employed. He says that لَأَحْتَنِكَنَّ, I will drag all of you to the hell. He said to Allah Ta'ala in the Qur'an. Clearly. Don't be mistaken about this. إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ. He is your enemy, take him as your enemy, your opponent. Don't let your guard down. Do they teach you in kickboxing? I've never done in kickboxing, I'm just assuming. Any brothers do kickboxing here? Don't let down your guard. Yeah? Always protect. This is jihad. Protect and knock out the batil. Not just protection, you have to knock out shaitan. What's the biggest way and easiest way to knock out shaitan? No, the biggest, easiest way. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That's it. It makes shaitan weaker than a mosquito. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Because now you gave Allah you handed over yourself to Allah. Nobody can protect you more than Allah. Is it okay so far? Clear? Islam, before that Iman, vision, Shahada al-Nas, bear witness to mankind, we conveyed the message. To do that, we do infaq, we spend everything, we go to school for infaq, for this vision. You get married for Shahada al-Nas. Did you know that? When you get married, if you're not married, this is why you're getting married. Yes? You will spend a month of Bollywood with your husband or wife, but after that is real life. Yes? You get married so that you can, as a group, together become a strong entity to give dawah. This is why you get married. This is why you have children. Because you have more workforce now. You can train them to give dawah. Yes? And then you are strong against shaitan. You are not naive. You don't become easy prey. Okay, moving on. Then Surah Al-Ali Imran will tell us three things. You have to make a note. Ali Imran will tell us three things. Of course, a lot of detail, but I'm giving you summary. It will tell you to be this group of people who will do this job of conveying the message. You need to have taqwa, first and foremost. As individuals and as a society, you need to always think, what does Allah say about something? Taqwa. Yeah? I'm not going to go into detail of taqwa. Taqwa is always stop and think, what does Allah say in this situation? Don't react to anything. Think before you act, think before you speak. Train yourself to stop, think, and then speak. Don't just react. This is very, very difficult for the teenagers at school, I know that. Somebody cusses you, you have to cuss back. I don't know, do they call cuss here? They call it something else. Somebody says something to you, you must give them more back. This is a sign of weakness. Yeah. Strongest person, said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the one who controls his or her anger when he or she is angry. This is real strength. Learn this strength through fasting. Fast Mondays and Thursdays is very easy nowadays. Maghrib is at 4 o'clock. Easy. Your iftar is at 4. Simple. Taqwa. Have taqwa and hold fast to the rope of Allah. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. I give you the reference for this in Surah Al Imran. 110 if I'm not mistaken, but if you check and you can tell me later on, ayah 110, roughly about there. Have taqwa, hold on fast to the rope of Allah. What does it mean? Who can tell us? What does it mean to hold fast to the rope of Allah? Sisters, can you tell us? What does it mean? How do you hold on fast to the rope of Allah? What is the rope of Allah? Qur'an. As explained by Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. How do you hold on fast to it? Tell us quickly. I have Qur'an in front of me. Yes, go on.
Just obey it and follow the promise.
Sister has her hand. Yes. Speak up. Oh, I have 5 minutes left. MashaAllah, that's good. She's keeping track. MashaAllah, very good. You have to hold on fast to the rope of Allah by one, believing it is from Allah, reading it, understanding it, acting upon it, and one more thing, what is it? So that's acting upon it. What else? Did you follow that? I'll repeat it. Believe in Quran. I'm coming there, yeah. Believe the Quran is from Allah, read it, understand it, act upon it, and then spread the message, convey the message, invite people to this Quran. This is وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. All of us. And then Allah Ta'ala says, do not be divided. Don't be divided. Don't be divided. Allah Ta'ala is commanding us, don't be divided. Do not let division take you off the path of your vision. Yeah? We have to see every human being as one family. One family. Surah An-Nisa, first ayah. Ya ayyuhan nas, uttaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida. Do not entertain division. Division is a waste of time. You sit and you criticize somebody else. Waste of time. Not positive, not constructive, just wasting time over silly little matters. Don't waste time. We are here in this world to build, not to destroy. Yeah? Remember that. Me and you, we don't have time to criticize anybody, to be honest. We only have time to try and invite them to the truth, that's all. Allah Ta'ala tells us in Surah An-Nisa, this Al Imran, and then very quickly to wrap up the first session, in An-Nisa, Allah Ta'ala tells us how to build a strong society from the family up. How to bring this society into existence, focus on the family first, and the unit of society is the husband and wife. So Allah Ta'ala tells us in ayah 34, in An-Nisa 34. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله. And the ayah is a bit longer than that. Summary of it is, know your role. We should know our role as a husband. What's my role as a husband? The wife should know the role of the wife. And together they know their vision. If we all do what we're supposed to do, as Allah gave us this job, my role that Allah gave me, if I do it, I'm obeying Allah. If me as a wife, I'm doing my role as what Allah says, I'm obeying Allah. If we both do what we are doing, there will be no confrontation. There will be no conflict. Scholars explained this beautifully. They said the sun has its orbit, the moon has its orbit. Sun has its job, the moon has its job. The husband has his job, the wife has her job. They never clash. The moon and sun don't clash. Yes? And if there's an eclipse, we say, ooh, something abnormal, yeah? Because Allah Ta'ala gave us our roles very beautifully and exemplified by Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his wives. We just have to study their life, follow that. And then Surah An-Nisa gives us the roles and responsibilities of this community towards the extension of a family. Role of the society towards the orphans, the ladies, the women, etc., etc., so that the family unit can be remained strong and sturdy. Surah An-Nisa teaches us how to build a strong community. And finally, Surah Al-Ma'idah, it teaches us how to be a strong nation. Strong nation. So in this surah, third ayah, I would have shown you the ayahs, but because of time, I'm not. This is the first time I'm doing this course in such a short time. But khair, we should try to do something if we can't do everything at least. It tells us very famous ayah, you know it. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam ad-dina. Roughly translated, it means on this day Allah is saying that I have given you all my blessings, my favors and my mercy and made Islam your deen. Deen is the way you will now live so that you can be accounted for in the hereafter. This is deen. And then Allah Ta'ala, He tells us as an ummah. Ummah, I didn't explain the word. Ummah means those people who Allah has created as an entity. Whole of mankind from Adam alayhi salam until the last person on this earth is one ummah. Ummah. Allah Ta'ala, He created us all as a one ummah with the same instincts to worship Allah. However, people went off this instinct, opposed it, became disbelievers. So therefore the ummah divided into two. People who believed, stuck to the natural inclination, and people who went off. This ummah that has remained on this belief throughout history by following the messengers, it is now their job to be the ummah that calls the others back to this way. Yeah? Ummah can also mean the leadership, because these people need to lead people back to guidance. Yeah? So Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, you, O Ummah of Muhammad ﷺ, you must now live your life according to my beautiful instructions and guidance, which is full of mercy and blessing and benefit for you, as has been outlined in the first group of surahs from Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, An-Nisa, Al-Ma'idah. Beautiful. It's so fascinating Qur'an if you study, inshallah. You will fall in love with it. You will not be able to let go of it. This is Qur'an. Guidance. Beautifully, Allah Ta'ala has guided us step by step in these 4 surahs after Al-Fatiha. Approximately 6 and a bit juz. So in summary, the first group of surahs is telling us what is our view of reality, Iman. How to live this, Islam. Purpose, convey the message. How? Spend everything you have. Be strong against shaitan. How to be strong? Have taqwa. How to be united? Read Qur'an, understand it, act upon it. You know, if we all understand Qur'an, we won't differ about anything. Do you know that? We have no reason to differ, because we're all, as they say, singing from the same hymn sheet. Differ comes, or any difference comes when we don't think the same, because we have not been brainwashed by Qur'an. And then Allah Ta'ala is saying, don't differ. Build a strong society with the family system, know your roles, responsibilities, link it to your vision, and as a collective ummah, live what Allah Ta'ala has said in this Qur'an. Up to now we have looked at, that's the framework. But that's the first group of surahs, which is the lengthiest group. That's why I took a bit longer than I would normally take. But it's important to take some time on this first group of surahs. Because once you understand this, then inshallah the other 2, they will link back to this, inshallah. So it is 3:30. I am a bit afraid to give you a break, to be honest. But then I'm afraid not to give you a break as well. Some people are saying not to give break. And what do you think? Okay, let's give you a few minutes to stretch. I will say 3 minutes, and let's see how much we stick to 3 minutes. Jazakallah khair. If you want drink.
I'll sort you out. Are you done?
So please take a seat.
How will you sort?
Jazakallah khairan. Okay, let's inshallah take the second group. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, Bismillah. So the first group of surahs, as we mentioned, from Al-Fatiha to Al-Ma'idah. So if we just recap quickly, this first group is based on the Sharia, giving us the Sharia. It starts with the Iman. What's next? Islam. If you don't interact with me, then it will take longer for us to finish today, yeah? The quicker you tell me, the quicker I'll write and the quicker we move on. Okay, what's next? Vision. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. What's next? So we talked about fitra, yeah? Shahada ala-nas. Shahada ala-nas, yeah? What's next? Infaq, excellent. And jihad. Then taqwa. What else? Rope of Allah. And don't be divided. Multiplication and division. Eh? Don't be divided. What next? Sisters are taking better notes, it looks like. What's next? Building a strong society. How? From where? Family. Good. Role of the husband and wife. Then? Sister, I can't hear. How to be a strong nation. Strong nation. By? Yes, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, by establishing this Sharia. Live according to it. Live by it. There are many things we can't cover, of course. 6 Juz. Can't do it in 1 hour. Yeah? But your job is now to study Qur'an with this framework in mind. When you have this framework in mind and you study Qur'an, you read it, the meaning you will say, Alhamdulillah, now I understand, now I understand, now I understand. It is fascinating. It is the best thing you can do on this earth, to be honest, study Qur'an. Best thing. Khair, we move on to the second group. Second group is telling us, that's number 1, that's number 2. We have to finish this second group in half an hour, inshallah, yeah? Half an hour. We'll stop at 10 past 4. A few minutes after Maghrib, but it's no big deal, inshallah. Now that we know our Sharia, we have a vision. We know how to become a strong society. What do we do? We are a strong society. What do we do now? Do we just tell people, look how strong we are? We convey the message. How to convey the message has been beautifully told to us in this second group of surahs, number 2, yeah? Conveying the message. So I'm going to turn to this and because I need a bit more space. Yeah? Second group, group 2, is to look at the methodology of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Methodology of conveying the message. You have to break it down into 2 sections. The first section is based on Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf. Okay? The second section of this group 2 is broken down into Surah Al-Anfal and Surah At-Tawbah. Let me show you one other thing that would be a benefit, inshallah, at this point. I did not give you these notes because they're too detailed for these short sessions that we have, but I will email them. You can take them, inshallah. What you should arrange next time, inshallah, is at least a full 1 day, 9 till 7 course. Then we can elaborate. If you want more, then we should arrange a 6-day course, 1 day for every group. But inshallah, whenever and as we go. Anyway, this is a very quick summary of the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, Makkan and Madinan. In the year 13th of Nabawi, so this is 13 years after the Prophet ﷺ, he received revelation, yeah? And this is when he was how old? How old was he?
40. 53.
53. Good. Prophet ﷺ is 53 years old, yeah? So what happens is that after 13 years in Makkah, 1-3, Qur'an, how much of Qur'an has been revealed in this 13 years?
More or less half of the Quran.
Not half. How much of Qur'an revealed in Makkah?
About quarter.
Not quarter. Jazakallah khair. 2/3 nearly. Good. Nearly 2/3 of the Qur'an. You know, if you have a cake, let's do some diagrams. 2/3. Let's do maths. 2/3. This is cake. You like cake? You like laddu? Whatever you like, yeah? Biscuit, cookie, cake. If you divide it into three equal parts, the Prophet ﷺ, the Makki period is this much time in terms of this is how much of the Quran was revealed in Makkah. The rest of it was revealed in Medina. Yeah? Good. In these 13 years, the Prophet ﷺ, he was inviting people to Iman. Not Islam yet. Iman. We said Iman is 3 things. What are they? Iman in? Belief in what? Allah. And then? So oneness of Allah is in Allah. Then? Messengerhood, messengers. Then? Hereafter, Akhirah. Do you remember? You should remember if I show you this again. Like we looked at this. Bismillah. It's not responding for some reason. Khair. Anyway. So Iman that the Prophet was inviting to was to believe in Allah alone, in His messengerhood, that I am the messenger of Allah, and you have to prepare for the hereafter, Akhirah. Clear? Iman is 3 things. Iman in Allah, Iman in Risala, Iman in Akhirah. Iman in Allah, messengerhood, hereafter. Over the 13 years, the most of the Quran that was revealed, which is 66% roughly, all of this is elaborating this methodology. How the Prophet ﷺ invited to the worship of Allah. How he told them to think about why is it wrong not to worship Allah alone. Why? Remember, dawah is not about winning an argument. Yeah, that's not dawah. Please remember that. Dawah is not, I'm going to go and smash this person. Dawah is about, I'm going to make this person love Allah and the Qur'an and the Messenger. I'm going to try and win this person's heart. And the mind will follow. You know, when you fall in love, your mind follows, isn't it? When you get married, you just do what your heart says for the first 6 months or something like this. 3 months? No, akhi, come on. 1 year at least. So the heart, is what you need to, inshallah, try and conquer, as they say. These surahs, An'am and Al-A'raf, they were revealed in this 13th year. 13th year of Nabawi. They summarize the dawah of the Prophet ﷺ in Makkah. Is it clear? which was essentially calling people to think about why they should only worship one Allah. Why is it wrong to worship other than Allah? About the proofs of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is he messenger? How do we know? And to reignite this instinct that there's a hereafter, akhirah. To do that, there are 3 signs that the Quran uses. Ayat. Ayah, the word ayah means a sign, a symbol, a reminder that you intrinsically know already. You need a reminder. Whole Quran is a reminder of what we instinctively know in our fitrah. Remember that. And it is more detailed guidance. It is more detailed and precise guidance from Allah, which we know, that we need, because otherwise we cannot find that precision ourselves. We're not able to. Surah Al-An'am, it looks and it shows us how the Prophet ﷺ invited people by showing them signs of Allah Ta'ala's blessings and His creation around us. Yes? In Arabic we call this at-tadhkir bi-ala-illah. At-tadhkir bi-ala-illah. You know, in Surah Ar-Rahman we recite it, and what comes again and again in that is فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Ala. This is the same ala. At-tadhkir bi-ala-illah means remind people about the favors, the blessings, the greatness of Allah that you can see around you. Think about it. At-tadhkir bi-ala-illah. And Surah Al-A'raf, it gives us signs. Look at history. Look at history. What happened in history? This is called at-tadhkir bit-tarikhiyah or tarikhiyah, ayat tarikhiyah. Look at the signs that happened historically, trends. What happened to people who believed in messengers? What happened to people who didn't believe in the messengers? Throughout history, what happened in the end? There's a trend, consistently, always happens. And then think, where do I fit? Do I fit with the people who believe, or do I fit with the people who didn't believe and then they were punished? At-tadhkir of tarikhiyah, you can say. Another word for it is at-tadhkir bi ayyamillah. Ayyamillah means the days in which Allah destroyed nations. Ayyam means days. Any question of what I've said so far about these 2 surahs? Please ask if you're not clear. I will repeat it anyway, now, briefly. Prophet ﷺ, he is inviting the people, reminding them that Allah, He is your creator, you agree. He is your sustainer, you agree. Therefore, you should only live life as He says, because He knows what's best for you. And if you don't, shaitan will lead you astray. Don't follow your desire. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا الْحَوَى. This is the biggest challenge of today. Following desire. I want to do this. I like this. iPhone, iPad, I. Biggest test. I prefer this. I'm free to decide. If we leave ourselves to our desire, we will go astray. Remember this, yeah? If we think, I'm so clever, I can decide what's right or wrong, I know. I don't need any guidance. Then this is the biggest misguidance. Biggest. It's just like you're in the desert. You're in a desert. And you are given Google Maps, but you say, I don't need it. I'll find my own way. You will end up going around in circles. And eventually you die in the desert. Anyway, so the signs in Allah Ta'ala's creation have been highlighted here. Look at Allah Ta'ala's creation around you. Look at the sun, look at the moon, look at the birds, look at the stars, look at the sky, look at the seasons, look at the fruit, look at the everything. Cycle of life. Purposeful. Think, what's your purpose? Everything. سَخَّرَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. Allah Ta'ala says He created everything, and you're the person, you're the race, humans, who benefit from all this. We benefit from the sun and the moon. We can calculate the days, months, weeks. Our timetables, our lives are revolving around being able to calculate days, yes? And then the moon. How it causes this earth and its gravitational force, etc., etc., for us to be able to live here. Everything is there for us. We benefit from it. We harness these forces of nature to benefit us. They have purpose. So the next question is, what's my purpose? You see, natural, isn't it? Every person needs purpose in life. So this surah reminds us of this. And it tells us why it is wrong to expect things from anything other than Allah. Why is it wrong? Because nothing else can help you. Nothing else can harm you unless Allah wills. There's much detail I can't go into at the moment. So it affirms Allah's oneness through His signs in creation and negates shirk, which is to associate Allah's right with Him, with anything else, by teaching people to think. That's one in Surah Al-An'am. And the Surah Al-A'raf is very interesting. I'll spend a bit of time on Surah Al-A'raf. It is, you can see it as history. Human history. Surah Al-A'raf. If you break it down like this, Surah Al-A'raf, yeah? It talks about our journey as a human. Before our birth, we were souls. First human was Adam alayhi salam. Then life on earth, what happened, and what will happen in the Akhirah hereafter. It's a very beautiful surah that summarizes all of this. It's about us. Who are we? You know, there is this Hadron Collider. You heard of this CERN? Anybody heard of this CERN? They have a project in Europe. They are trying to figure out the origins of the universe. Have you heard about this, yeah? Anyway, because this is instinctively, you want to know, where did we come from? So Allah Ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-A'raf, in ayah, I won't give you ayah, yes, ayah 172. He told us you are all arwah, souls. All of you human beings, you are souls. Before you came into your body. And then Allah Ta'ala, He gathered all of us and He asked us a question, Alastu bi Rabbikum? He said, am I not your Lord? Everybody said, Bala. Of course you are our Lord. We bear witness to this fact. So it is instinctively inside us that we recognize there is Allah. Then the surah will tell us about the first human, Adam, and the challenges that he faced before he came to earth to prepare him to live on earth. His challenge against Iblis, Shaitan. This is our history as a human race. Allah Ta'ala is saying, learn from this. Reflect on this. What's the point of all this? Why? Then 6 nations have been mentioned that highlight. You know highlights, you watch football highlights. Main highlights. The main highlights on this earth. Allah Ta'ala is saying the main highlights on this earth are these 6 nations before you, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that came to them messengers. Nuh alayhi salam, Hud, Salih, Shu'aib, Lut, Musa alayhi salam, 6. They all came with the same message. Fa'budullah. Worship only Allah. Ibadah. Ibadah means, make a note of it. What is ibadah? Ibadah is the combination of two things deeply rooted in the human being. One is intense love for Allah. Ashaddu hubban lillah. Second is a complete submission and subservience to Allah. This is ibadah. Al-ibadah tajma'ul aslain. Ghayat al-hubb ma'a ghayat al-khushu'i wal-khudu'. Iman, ibadah, you love Allah the most compared to anything. And you obey Him happily, serve Him the most happily because you know that He's the best. He loves you the most. So they said, U'budullah. There is no ilah other than Allah. Ilah. Ilah means the one that you should obey, listen to. There is love there as well. But you obey in everything. This is ilah. So you live as the ilah wants, Allah. These people who were reminded by the messengers when they didn't believe, what happened? What happened to the people of Nuh? What happened? Sisters, what happened to the people of Noah, who didn't believe? It's not a trick question. Yes. They drowned. Good, flood. What happened to Fir'aun and his army who were fighting against Musa and his people? Drowned. Ad, Samud, Lut, all of these people who didn't believe in the messengers, Allah Ta'ala sent a punishment. But when did the punishment come?
In the presence of Prophet.
In the presence of the messenger. But when? In the beginning of his time? Yes. Go on. When they tried to kill the messenger, that's a very good point, mashallah. It is Maryam again. Huh? Asiya. Mashallah. Very good point. I didn't think of this before. When they tried to kill the messenger, yes, very good, mashallah. Essentially, the adhab of Allah came, make a note of this, very important to understand this from the Qur'an. Adhab only came to the people whilst the messenger was still with them, and the messenger had given the complete message completely. It means that there was no confusion about the message. It was clear. They had been given enough time, enough chances, more than enough chances, more than enough time, more than enough options, more than enough opportunity to ask clarification, etc., 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 until they were completely convinced that yes, what you're saying is right, you are a messenger, but still they didn't obey. Is it clear? Is it clear what I've said? Very important. What I'm about to say after is all dependent on if you understood this or not. Yes, it is called itmam of hujjah. Itmam means completion of your job. You've done your job, you've conveyed the message. When that's done, the adhab comes. So the people were sent the punishment because of this. And then the surah moves on to tell us what will happen in the akhirah to the nations and the people who didn't believe. They rejected the message. And that is a beautiful section of the people who are on the A'raf, high place where they are still to be decided their matter whether they will go to Jannah or Jahannam, but eventually they go to Jannah. So this is a summary of the history of the human in Surah Al-A'raf, from the soul to creation on the earth, life on earth, and then the hereafter. These two together, Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf, These two together, they summarize the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ inviting people to think about Allah Ta'ala's oneness, the Risala of Muhammad ﷺ, and the Akhirah. Of course, there's much more detail needed, no time. Do we have to stop here, did you say? It's 4 o'clock. So we stop. We'll continue. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we have looked at the first group of surahs, and we are in the middle of the second group of surahs. And as we mentioned, the second group of surahs is telling us the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ in giving his message, conveying his message, and achieving his mission and vision of conveying the message, Shahada ala nas. In order to do this, Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf, they beautifully pair up to give us a summary of the way in which the Prophet ﷺ did this by inviting people to reflect on signs in nature, and in Surah Al-A'raf, signs in history, in our history, human history. Now once this has been completed, this process has come to an end, we term this as Itmam al-Hujjah. Itmam al-Hujjah. Itmam al-Hujjah. Yep. Itmam al-Hujjah means everything that could have been, has been explained, but also the audience to whom it was explained to has actually understood it. Yeah? So we are doing a very quick summary of Qur'an today. I might feel at the end of it as a teacher that, oh, I explained it in whatever form. Whether or not you have completely understood it, I will never know that until you tell me, yeah? Only Allah knows that, yeah? So Itmam al-Hujjah is only done when Allah knows, of course He knows, that everybody that the messenger was sent to understood the message clearly, completely, comprehensively, understood what it means, has no more question, has no more doubt, and has understood the consequence of now rejecting it. Is that clear? Itmam al-Hujjah is this, is the name of the process of completely conveying and understanding the message and the consequence of rejecting it or accepting it. Any question about Itmam al-Hujjah as a concept? Good. When Itmam al-Hujjah had been made upon the audience of the Prophet ﷺ, so you need to now keep in mind, the audience of the Prophet ﷺ are two. One is the initial initial specific audience. Specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ, who were the people of Arabia in his time, at his time, whom he could engage. Yes? These are the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ. However, one of the unique features of the Prophet ﷺ is that he is kafatan linnas bashiran wa nadira. He is the messenger for the rest of humankind until the last day. So he has also a general, ongoing audience until the last day. Are we happy with that? It makes sense? In Arabic, you can say this is the khas, specific, and these are the am, general, until the last day of judgment. Sorry, until the last day of this world, as-sa'a, the hour. This specific audience, to these people, the Prophet ﷺ, he himself conveyed the message and he established the Hujjah, Itmamul Hujjah. This was established in the 13th year of Nabawi. We looked at the Seerah timeline, yeah? It's not there anymore. I can show you it. The Seerah timeline in Makkah, the last year before he migrated, his job's done. But only Allah knew that. Yeah? Only Allah knows that everybody's understood it. Prophet doesn't, there's no way of him finding out. Yeah? So after 13 years of conveying the message, now what should happen to the people who rejected it? If we look at history, they should be punished. Is it clear? Surah Al-Anfal and Surah At-Tawbah together are a pair that take us through this process of punishing the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ. Is it clear? I'll say again. Surah Al-Anfal and Surah At-Tawbah together as a pair, they go to take us through the process of the punishment that came from Allah to the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ, to whom he himself conveyed the message clearly, completely, and they understood it completely. Are we happy with that concept? It's very important to understand this concept, otherwise big misunderstanding, big issues. Clear? Happy? Good. This process, it is the mercy of Allah. It is the mercy of Allah upon Rahmatul lil Alameen, the mercy to mankind, the Prophet ﷺ and his ummah, that this punishment did not come overnight. It took the 2nd year of Hijrah, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, until the 9th, approximately 8 to 9 years. Allah gave extra time. Nuh alayhi salam's people didn't get extra time. The flood came, finished. Fir'aun and his army did not get any time. Within hours, finished. The people, I can't remember, Ad maybe, they had 7 nights and 8 days, finished. Yes, but they had no way of stopping the adhab, did they? Could the people of Nuh stop the flood? Could the people of Fir'aun stop the flood? Could the people of Ad stop the wind? The people of Lut, they couldn't stop the earthquake and etc. But look at the mercy of Allah on His Messenger and His Ummah, that this adhab came in installments. You know, you get a reminder, then you get a warning, then you get a verbal warning, then you get a written warning. This is Allah's mercy upon this ummah. First installment of this punishment came in Surah Al-Anfal. This is the 2nd year of Hijrah. 2nd year of Hijrah. 2 after Hijri. If you look at the timeline, 1st year of Hijrah, the Prophet ﷺ comes, he builds the mosque, etc. 2nd year is the Battle of Badr in Ramadan. The first installment of Allah's punishment upon the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ. How many people came from Makkah to fight from the disbelievers? 1,000.
In Badr?
Badr.
3,000?
No, 1,000. 1,000 came from Makkah. Against how many believers? Approximately 313, yeah? Approximately 313, 315. 70 of the leadership, the main leaders of Quraysh were killed in Badr. 70. Because Allah wanted to remove the greatest hurdle for Quraysh to believe, the leadership. The leadership stopped the masses from learning the message and obeying it and accepting it. Pressure. Are we following this? Please ask me if you're not clear. I don't mind. The leadership was wiped out in Badr, 70 of them. Abu Jahl, the greatest, yani not the greatest, but the biggest Fir'aun of this ummah. Prophet ﷺ said, he's the Fir'aun of this ummah. Once the leadership had been wiped out, then Allah Ta'ala gives time to the Quraysh and Arabia to think about it again in Uhud. Another confrontation. Khandaq or Ahzab, another confrontation. Everybody is now realizing that, you know what, this message, we know it's the truth, but this message is actually taking over. Whether we like it or not, it's taking over. So although we knew inside that it was the message, the truth from before, but the reason why we didn't accept it was because we thought we're still in charge. Are you following what I'm saying? Important to understand this. But now the people realize that we're losing power. This message was the truth, is the truth, and now it's prevailing as the truth. So maybe we should accept it because we know it's the truth. Still Allah is giving them time. 6th year of Hijrah, Treaty of Hudaybiyah. It shows that now the Prophet ﷺ and his people, they are a force to be reckoned with. You have to enter a treaty with them because they are too much of a power to be able to stop. That's why Allah Ta'ala calls it Fath Mubin. 7th year of Hijrah, conquest of Khaybar. Power of Muhammad ﷺ and his nation is increasing. Then Allah Ta'ala, He gives them victory. He comes to Makkah back as the leader. He shows mercy to even the people who killed Hamza radiallahu anhu. He is now in charge of Makkah. قُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Truth has come, falsehood is smashed. He smashed the idols. 9th year of Hijrah. This is the period of revelation for Surah At-Tawbah. Tawbah. Surah Tawbah is the last chance to do Tawbah for the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ. That started in the 2nd year of Hijrah, yeah? So if you look at it from the day 1 of revelation, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, until this in Tawbah, Surah Tawbah, approximately 13 and 9, 22 years roughly. Allah Ta'ala has given people 22 years to think about this message and see the drastic changes in the area and the peninsula. Now there's no reason but to believe in this message, is there? Because it's in charge. Are we understanding this? Now if you don't believe in it, that means there's really something wrong with you. Because you really know what it is about, but you still. Allah Ta'ala says, in His infinite mercy, still you have 4 months. 4 months. At the Hajj, announcement is made from Abu Bakr, and Ali is there already, that you have 4 months. You believe, no problem. If you don't believe, you get ready for war. Because this is the punishment of Allah now. You have been seeing it for the last 6-7 years in Medina. What's happened? You have no reason but to believe. Third thing that was implied was, if you don't want to believe, then you can leave Arabian Peninsula. You will not be pursued. Other group of people that were addressed, the people of the book, they are told that you can live as Jews and Christians, you will give jizya. The mushrik who does not believe in Allah, in His messenger, or the previous books, you have no choice. You are the specific audience of this messenger, and Allah's sunnah throughout history has been, messenger comes, message is conveyed. If you believe, you're saved. If you don't, you're destroyed. Is it clear? This is group 2. Any question before we proceed? Any question? Okay. Group 3 then we go on to, inshallah. You know, many times we know something, we know how to do it, but we can't be bothered. This is human. As humans, we know it's right to do this. We even know how to do what's right, but then I'm a bit lazy, I can't. Or, I know it's right, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. I don't think I'll get there. Allah Ta'ala, He knows that because He made us like that. He gave us motivation in the next group of surahs. Can you see the link between the groups? Isn't it amazing? This itself is a miracle of the Qur'an. The Qur'an was revealed in a different order. It is in the Qur'an in a different order than in which it was revealed. This itself is a miracle. How you can link everything. For motivation, we need to understand two terms: Haq versus Batil. Allah Ta'ala in this group of surahs is telling us, when you stand up for your vision, you will have to face the enemy of Allah and His Messenger, Shaitan and his allies. You are based on Haq. What is Haq? What does this weird Haq mean? Word Haq. Truth. What else does it mean? Anything. Haq means that which is established to be true, known to be true, has evidence, concrete evidence, rationally sound, historically proven, intuitively sound, instinctively sound, morally just. Are you making note of these words? This is dawah. I'm teaching you dawah here. I'm making it easy for you to give dawah, inshallah. Very easy. Haq is, what did I say Haq? Who can tell us from the notes? What I've mentioned, 5 terms. Yes, go on. Say it loudly, I can't hear you. Concrete evidence. Rationally sound. Intuitively sound. Morally just. Beautiful. MashaAllah. Asant. Haq. The right. Haq is what is right. It has the right to be right. You see this? Yeah? Haq, another word that I have coined for it is fact. Fact. Batil is the opposite of fact. What's the opposite of fact? A lie. Good. What else? False. What else? What else, sisters? Wrong. What else? Look at the definitions of, we've looked at the words. Look at the opposite.
No evidence.
No evidence. What else? We come to that. Not rationally sound. Not intuitively sound. Not morally just. Batil is fiction. Yeah? Batil is fiction. Unfortunately, majority of people, they like to read fiction. You see this?
Media mind.
Fiction. Nothing wrong with reading fiction as for some limit, but then the fiction becomes fact for people, unfortunately. This is the problem. Yeah? Haq and Batil will always collide throughout history until the last day. Haq is Allah, number one. His messenger, Haq. His message, Al-Quran, Haq. Death is Haq. Judgment is Haq. Jannah is Haq. Jahannam is Haq. They are facts, truths, based on evidence, etc. Anything else is Batil that opposes this. Because they're not based in fact. Allah Ta'ala tells us beautifully in this section of surahs from, you can see from Surah Yunus to Surah An-Nur, that there is an ongoing competition between Haq and Batil. Be sure that Haq will prevail, will win. But there's a process of tug and war. Yes? Tug and war. Sorry, tug of war, not tug and war. Tug of war. Pull and push. You fail, you try again. Your opponent knocks you out, you get up again. You train harder next time, yeah? You train harder and harder until you can overcome your opponent. But Allah Ta'ala is saying you will be successful. Haqq will prevail. This deen will prevail. We take some things from here, from my other document, because it will make it easy for you, inshallah, and quicker for us to analyze this last that we're going to do today. Group 3. I didn't give you these notes on purpose because it's too much information for today. But inshallah, if we arrange another course, a full day, then we will go through these notes, inshallah. So I will just highlight some things here. Allah Ta'ala is telling us, struggle between Haqq and Batil, which is telling us, Allah, He is the Haqq. Allah, He is the Haqq. Haqq also means, I forgot to mention, something that has been made purposefully. There is a purpose to it. Haqq. So this pen or stylus has a purpose, it was made for it. This table has a purpose, microphone, etc. If you make a product that has no use, is batil, no use, purposeless. Yeah? Allah Ta'ala is telling us everything He made for a purpose. You have a purpose, there's an outcome. Qur'an is haqq, it has been preserved. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. Allah Ta'ala is telling us about the Qur'an being the proof of your messengerhood. We will look at that tomorrow in more detail. Is this Qur'an, biggest proof. Deeds in terms of being haqq or batil, those deeds, actions that are actually good. It means deeds, actions that will actually get reward in the hereafter, that please Allah, they are haqq. Yeah? For any action that we do, for it to be accepted by Allah, what does it have to need? It needs two things. What does it need? Intention. I can't hear you. Good. Intention should be purely to please Allah. Ikhlas, sincerity. The way you do the action must be based on how Allah wants it, and He has told us how He wants it by telling us in the Qur'an and Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Ittiba'an, it is. Ittiba', follow the Prophet ﷺ. Any action done without these two intention, the intention or the ittiba', is not accepted by Allah, not. Yeah, it is rejected. In fact, the hadith mentioned, فَهُوَ رَدْ. So Allah Ta'ala tells us about deeds in terms of haqq and batil. So this section tells us different aspects of haqq and batil, haqq and batil, haqq and batil. You see it. Allah Ta'ala is telling us in this section, beautiful, haqq always prevails. And the batil is destroyed. قُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقِّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. And we must look at this ayah. Shaitan's promise instead of Allah's promise. Let's look at this ayah, Ibrahim 22. Surah Ibrahim, ayat is 22. Very, very important to know. The promise of shaitan is batil, is fiction, and the promise of Allah is haqq. وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ, and shaitan, he will say on the last day, you know shaitan, Iblis. This is the same shaitan who did not bow down to Adam. He is the leader of all the people who disobey Allah and His Messenger. Allah protect us. He will say on the Day of Judgment, after people have been decided who is going to Jannah, who is going to hell, then he will give khutbah. This is the last khutbah of shaitan. You see the scene? You can set the scene now, yeah? He is now speaking, his speech. وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرِ, when the matters have been decided who goes where, he will say, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَعْدَكُمْ وَعْدَ الْحَقِّ. What Allah promised you was the truth. It was right. What Allah Ta'ala said to you through His messenger was true. Who is saying this? Shaitan. We know he's going to say this because the Qur'an told us, yeah? If you still don't believe in this, what's the problem? There's a problem, isn't it? Shaitan himself is telling you believe in Allah. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ, but I also gave you promises. I promised you many things, Shaitan says. فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ, but I have betrayed all those promises to you on this day. وَمَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ إِلَّا أَنْ دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي. He will say, I invited you, but I couldn't force you. I invited you. I said, do this, don't worry. Do this wrong thing, disobey Allah, disobey the messenger, do this. You responded. You acted upon this suggestion. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي, so don't blame me now. وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, blame yourself. People of the hell is saying, blame yourselves now, don't blame me. مَا أَنَا بِمُصْرِخِكُمْ وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُصْرِخِي. It means whether you scream, shout, whether I scream or shout, kick up a fuss, is of no use now. End of the line. And then he's adding insult to injury in the last statement that he gives. Shaitan is saying, you know, your life you spent as I told you. And if you would expect that I should at least show some gratitude for your following me. Yes? Shaitan is saying. He says, إِنِّي كَفَرْتُ بِمَا أَشْرَكْتُمُونِي مِنْ قَبْلِ. That I reject whatever you did in my name. You followed me, I reject it, I don't accept it. He's adding insult to injury now to the people who are going to Jahannam. إِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Allah Ta'ala is telling us, indeed the people who were unjust, meaning they did not accept the haqq, follow it, unjust to themselves. For them now is a very, very painful, humiliating punishment in the adab of the akhirah. Ameen. May Allah protect us from that. Ameen. So this is Haq and Batil. The ambassador of Batil, he is himself saying Haq is Haq, I'm Batil. And then Allah Ta'ala gives us a beautiful comparison between Haq and Batil. In Surah Ra'ad and Ibrahim, I won't go through the ayat because of time, but it is telling us that the Haq always prevails. It is spreading, and the next we take the two sections together. Haq always eventually wins. It takes time and struggle. Batil always eventually has to be dismissed because it doesn't make sense eventually. So you continue in your struggle of remaining on the Haq, and then Allah Ta'ala gives us beautifully in the end of this group two surahs, Mu'minun and An-Nur. The qualities of the people of Haq. May Allah Ta'ala make us from these, Ameen. As people of individuals and as a community. Surah Al-Mu'minun, first 11 ayat. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Allah Ta'ala is telling us the true believers who will reach eternal success have certain characteristics. Inculcate those characteristics within yourselves. Become this. First and foremost, be regular, punctual, humble, continuous, consistent in your prayer, as-salah. Most important. First. Then always seek to purify yourself and your environment. Purification, zakat. Stay away from any matter that is of no use. Lagh. Ani laghwi moridun. Don't waste time in things that are of no use. Protect your gender. Protect your sexual desire from any wrong use. Use your desire in halal way. An-nikah. Be married. Be the person who is honest, fulfills his promises and trusts. This is just a few bullet points. People of Haq, they have this character as individuals. And then as a community, Surah An-Nur, beautiful surah, surah of light, enlightening surah. It is telling the Muslim community, if you want to be the community that is based on Haq, you have to reflect Surah Nur in your lifestyle. Did you understand that? Let me say again. If we want to judge ourselves as a community, we should always be thinking about ourselves. Where do we stand as a community? What are we? If we want a criteria of how close we are to Allah and His Messenger and what Allah wants or not, we have to look at ourselves in light of Surah An-Nur. Beautiful surah, An-Nur, light. The light in the heart of the believer. When it receives the revelation, the light of revelation, there's light upon light. Nurun ala nur, guidance upon guidance. And you know one of the most important things in Surah Nur, what is it? Most important thing mentioned in Surah Nur throughout. Main topic, who can tell us? Sisters? Please tell us. What's the main thing in Surah Nur? Hijab. Surah Nur is telling us as a Muslim community, your most precious thing is your women. You have to make sure that everything is done to make sure that the women have the full freedom to worship Allah and His Messenger. And you follow these guidelines. You do not make yourself vulnerable and susceptible that you end up in zina as a society. You see this? This dress that we wear it for a reason. Because the man and woman Allah created to be like magnets, magnet, South Pole, North Pole, attraction. When you bring the magnets too close, what happens? They stick to each other. Allah Ta'ala says, bring a barrier between the magnets so they can't stick to each other until they have nikah. It's very simple, isn't it? People don't understand this simple stuff now because shaitan messed up with the mind. So Qur'an will wipe away all these doubts. La rayba fi. Dhalika al-kitab la rayba fi. If you have any doubt about anything, read Qur'an, it will clear it, cleanse it. Make it very easy, natural. So Surah Nur is a reflection on how we have to live as Muslims to make sure that the family and the society is a beacon of light for the rest of humanity. This is Surah Nur. The society of Haq, established on fact, not fiction. So with this I don't feel comfortable that it's finished really. I don't feel that I've done my job, to be very frank with you today. It's very hurried, etc. But may Allah forgive us for our faults. But we are trying. May Allah reward us for our, inshallah, endeavor. In the end, I want to summarize with you all this that we have done today, together. Yeah. So you will tell me, and I will summarize with you, so that we leave with a clear picture of what we have done today, and then tomorrow we build on that, inshallah. So, who can tell us what we have looked at in the first group of surahs? So I will just summarize it here. Okay, Bismillah. You start me off, I'll write it. The longer you take, the longer you stay here. Simple. I don't mind, I'm on holiday. Alhamdulillah. See, everybody's speaking now. MashaAllah. Incentive, motivation. Alhamdulillah. Okay, sisters first. So this is about the Sharia, yes. This is about Sharia. What about it did we learn quickly? Iman, first and foremost. No, you can't throw the points. You have to put in order. No, not yet. Islam. Once you have belief, you act. Vision. What is the vision? What's the vision? What is the vision? Shahada ala nas is the vision. What's the vision? Sisters, what's the vision? Beautiful. Shahada ala nas is our vision in life. How will we achieve it? Through infaq, which means excellent, using all your resources to convey the message. And what else? The mother. Sister say? Jihad, very good. Against Iblis and his allies. And then? Okay, but you have to explain why you saying taqwa. There's a reason. Taqwa, rope of Allah, and don't be. Why did we say that? Because we have to. Excellent. Be one ummah. Be one ummah, clear goal, clear vision. Then, family. How to build family. What's the explanation of this? Role of husband and wife. You and I, we are not qualified to be married if we don't know Surah Nisa, yeah? We don't qualify to be husband and wife. And if we are husband and wife, we don't know Surah Nisa, quickly learn it. Okay? Otherwise we'll make big mess somewhere. May Allah protect us from that. And then after that, very good, strong nation in which surah? Al-Ma'idah, yeah? How? What should we do now? Yes, sister, establish? Excellent. Establish this Sharia so that you can be living models of this Sharia. Okay. First group, excellent. MashaAllah, I'm very happy. Alhamdulillah, you have learned correctly. Alhamdulillah. Surah Al-An'am, and sorry, second is methodology of conveying the message. Who can summarize? An'am. What else? MashaAllah, Araf. Who can elaborate quickly? So signs in nature, signs from history, excellent. To do what? Why? Explain. By Allah's oneness, but what is this teaching us? Yeah, so you're saying that Allah is one because of this, and you're saying that look at the signs and look at history. Why? What for?
Message to the non-believers.
It's to convey the message, how to invite people to think. What was the term used for if you've done it all, finished? Itmamul Hujjah. If you finish your job, you've conveyed it, they've understood it completely. Itmamul Hujjah. What happens after Itmamul Hujjah? In Surah Al-Anfal and Tawbah. Azab comes, punishment. Who can explain the stages of punishment in the life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Quickly. So reminder, warning, and then what happened? First installment when? Badr. What was the nature of that installment? What actually happened, Yani, briefly?
Taking out the leaders.
Take out the leadership. Remove the barriers. People can think freely. Yeah? And then what happened? Uhud happened, Khandaq happened, etc. But then in the end?
Then at the end, if you accept this is the law, this is Sharia, if you don't accept whether you pay jizya, you would have to leave.
Yes. You have a final chance. If you don't believe and you are mushrik, you'll be fought. Surah Tawbah very clear. But this is specific audience of the Prophet in his time. This is what we need to understand. Otherwise we misunderstand and we say everything, no. Misunderstanding, yeah? Good. And then tawbah, last opportunity to do tawbah, otherwise you will be punished. And then the third group, who can explain this very briefly? Sisters, what's this third group about? Haq and Batil, yeah? So, sisters, tell us, what is Haq? So, I don't know who sisters are saying, but go on. I will repeat it. If you say, I'll repeat it. It's revision for everyone. You'll get reward for everybody's revision. Morally just, intuitively sound, rationally sound, with complete evidence, based on evidence. Yes? Haqq. And I said one other thing later on about it that I forgot in the beginning. Purpose, excellent. Something that has been made with purpose. You want to add something? Brother, you had your hand up. Anything you want to add? It has the right to be known to be right, yeah? Because it is right. And the batil is the opposite of that, basically, yeah? Fiction. Okay, what else about this group? What did we cover? Okay, Allah is Haq, Qur'an is Haq, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is Haq, death is Haq, what else? Jannah, Jahannam, Yawm al-Akhirah, good. What else?
Haq always prevails.
Haq always prevails, always wins in the end, because it's fact. Fiction fizzles out, it takes time. It takes time to fizzle out. You know all these notions about gender, batil, it will fizzle out eventually. Then we will say, oh, how stupid were we to think like that. It's a phase. Because when we leave the guidance, we go to dalal, we go to misguidance. But then, inshallah, we bring people back, inshallah, bi-idhnillah, idhina sirat al-mustaqim. What else? Anything else you'd like to add, anybody? Good. Deeds that are haqq or batil, if they're accepted or not by Allah. Yeah? What else did we say?
Spread the word of Haq.
So spreading the word of Haqq, the word of Haqq is spreading. What else did we mention? Before that, the last khutbah of shaitan. Yes? Don't forget that, yeah? He's on our case 24/7, remember that, yeah? Beautiful. Surah Ibrahim, ayah 22. He gave the khutbah. And then people like us, inshallah, ameen, if we want to know, am I on the haqq as a person, which surah do I look at? Mu'minun, first 11 ayat. What's the most important thing in that section? As-salah. And then the rest. And then as a community, if we want to know, are we on the haqq? Surah An-Nur. What's the main teaching there? Hijab. Yes. All of this is to protect the dignity of women. You know that? This shaitan, he's saying to the women to misguide us that you don't have that dignity, come out. Don't worry. He wants to take them out of that dignity.
If they understand.
Yeah, but we are the teacher, innit? We have to teach our sisters and our wives, and help them, protect them. May Allah help and protect us, inshallah. And if you have any question, I'm happy to sit here as long as you like, no problem. But I know that we have Yani. I wouldn't say we've gone over our time because you didn't give me enough time anyway, yeah? So anyway, no hard feelings. But I think now maybe because you need to get somewhere, you may have other things to do. But I'm happy to sit and respond to any questions, any suggestions, inshallah. So tomorrow we will continue, and tomorrow, inshallah, there is an added bonus. What's on the menu tomorrow?
Sweets.
No, sweets is not enough for us lot. We need something savory. There is something savory tomorrow as well, inshallah. Maybe,
What's on the menu?
Oh, what's on the menu? The brother has ordered some samosas and
Samosa and pakoras tomorrow, inshallah, for the people who will stay till the end. So I'm definitely staying till the end, inshallah, tomorrow with all of us. Jazakumullah khair. So with that, unfortunately we have to end, but because of time. But as I said, I'm here if you need me or you want to ask. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa jazakumullah khair. We hope to see you tomorrow, inshallah, bidhnillah. Fi amanillah.